Welcome back, friends and patriots worldwide. I should add that. I should add worldwide because I don't know. What if someone from like Iceland is like, hey, yeah, I like this guy's channel. Yeah, why not? Pepe couldn't make it today, so I'm here with Boom Girl. Don't mess with her. She has a bazooka. God, what? Come on, dude. Ugh. Like I said, I'm gonna destroy this gosh darn mouse because I'm trying to do something and it just unclicks and it doesn't do what I want it to. So Pepe is still with us. She has the Pepe helmet. Shoot. Watch. It's not gonna let me freaking shrink it back down, dude. But the reason I have this Boom Girl, um, that's her. That's gonna be her name. The booms are coming, and there's like a bunch of new Q drops that I didn't want to cover throughout the day. Like I wanted to wait it out to see like how many more would come out, and it just kept coming, and that's why I tended to make these videos like late, just to see how many more drops come out because I did it the other night, and then there was like one more, and I was like, man, excuse me, my allergies. I have to like my eyes just water for some reason. Oh shit! What did I do? I'm a human being, folks. All right, so I've ranted long enough, dude. There's my 5 minute just being dumb. And gosh, I forgot where we left off. Oh shoot, there is a lot, dude. What the what? Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember now. Um, so when we left off, we had this one, right? I pinned it in my last video, and then like 10 minutes later, oh, he dropped this. So it's just tweet from Chuck Grassley. The this ear of corn is developed and will soon be ready for harvest.
A long time ago, I showed you a developing ear of corn. You can now see that this ear of corn is developed. You can see those little dents in the corn. That means it is mature. Between now and harvest, it's a case of this ear of corn drying down from about 35% moisture now to ideally about 20% of moisture. That's the ideal time to harvest. A long time ago, I showed you a developing ear of corn.
I'm not a farmer, folks. So I don't know exactly what. I mean, I get the gist of the whole harvesting the corn thing, and you got those weird pictures of Comey in like a cornfield, and so it's like, is it ready to be harvest, or you know? I don't think Leslie even cares about being cute. And there you go. No, no. As the night I saw this dress, I memed it first. They did it. That's weak. Weak. I mean, don't get me wrong. Florida is just always so beautiful, but I did it first. And you know what? I will show you that I memed it first. And then I think people just copied me. I'm sure the Yanons probably did it before me. But you saw it on my channel first. Let me try to pull it up. I think I deleted the pictures. Shoot. Memes. There you go, folks. I memed it first. I'm pretty sure I wasn't, but That was just the first thing that just came to mind. As soon as I saw her walking down wearing that dress, I was like, that's Pepe. I was like, that's Pepe Green. I was like, I have to meme this, dude. um, me, mine. If you ever see these memes anywhere, they came from this schmuck. All right, who cares? Back to business. Okay, yeah, very slow. See how I get ahead of myself and just. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Oh, shoot, man. Gosh, man. Stop writing these novels, Q. Please. Please. So we're at 46.99. What happens when people in positions of power are sympathizers to the cause or part of the same organization themselves? What is a safe zone? Why are riots conducted in specific, controlled locations? What happens when elected officials, governors/mayors, handcuff the officers instead of the criminals? What happens when elected officials, governors/mayors refuse to call in National Guard or other federal assistance, right? Our duly elected president, 45, has continuously said, "Hey, man, do you need help? Do you need help? We'll come in there and it'll be done in like an hour." But what do these Democratic governors continue to do? They refuse his assistance. When they can clearly see that their cities are being burned down, looted, but they refuse to help. Does that make any sense to you? Sacrificing the lives and the well-being of the community for a calculated political gain or other? I'm going with the latter, folks. Man arrested for starting at least 7 brush fires along I-205. Domingo Lopez Jr. was arrested Sunday afternoon for allegedly starting one fire. He was released and arrested again hours later for after police said he started 6 more. Can't make it up, folks. Does Antifa fear prosecution? Would they continue to operate if they did? What organized groups are bailing out rioters within 24 hours of arrest? What happens? What happens post bailout? Do charges remain enforced or dropped by DA? Prosecutor won't act on low-level Portland protest arrests. So what does that mean? You go. You can go and do whatever the heck you want and not be arrested for it? Charges dropped unless they involve property damage, theft, use of force, or threat? What is wrong with these people? I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll kind of just do that. We can pause it, pause the video, pause. I think this is better than me pinning the article in the comments. You know, y'all can just, while you're watching the video, just pause the screen and, you know, or pause the video, I mean, not the screen, and just read it. And that's basically what the article said. DA will not act regarding low-level arrests. Have all refusal to bring charges been related to low-level arrests? And yeah, Andy Ngo has been, he's a trooper, man. He's been assaulted, hit over the head, has had to go into like surgery because he got like hit over the head and had to get like all these stitches and stuff. You can find the story if you look for it. The last tweet from at the DA, this scumbag, the new DA who isn't prosecuting Portland rioters, is a tweet promoting an interview with his buddy, the militant Antifa activist. His friend is part of the campaign by communist Angela Davis to defund police, abolish prisons, and demand reparations. Like I said, these people are insane. Sympathizer? Other? What happens when prosecutors, board of county commissioner members, volunteer, firefighters, etc., are sympathetic to the cause? What happens if the organization Antifa itself is aware? Infiltration, not invasion. Worth remembering, think what you see today. That one I will pin. I'm gonna have to make a note on that. It's my Hello Kitty notebook or just notepad, and I found it. I have no shame. It's okay for a grown man to like Hello Kitty. Mm. Insurgency can be defined as an organized use of subversion and violence to seize, nullify, or challenge political control of a region. Insurgents seek to subvert or displace the government and completely or partially control the resources and population of a given territory. Do they so through the use of force, including guerrilla warfare, terrorism, and coercion, intimidation, propaganda, subversion, and political mobilization? Insurgents fight government forces only to the extent needed to achieve their political aims. Their main efforts is to not to kill counterinsurgents, but rather to establish a competitive system of control over the population, making it impossible for the government or the administrator, its territory, and people. Insurgent activity is therefore designed to weaken government control and legitimacy while increasing insurgent control and influence. Insurgent require supporters, recruits, safe havens, money, supplies, weapons, and intelligence on government actions. A robust insurgency can be waged with the support of just a small percentage of a given population. Next, counterinsurgency may be defined as comprehensive civilian and military efforts taken to simulously I think I said that right. Defeat and contain insurgency and address its root causes. Q. Again, sorry from. There's just some words I just can't print. I can't. It's like I don't think I'm reading them correctly, but. $47.01. Very dangerous. Police and FBI investigate power poles cut with chainsaw in Snohomish County? and the Anons already figured it out. And these are all Antifa people. You got the chainsaw. So these people are deliberately going out and trying to cut down telephone poles, power lines, to start fires. So Q just acknowledges this Anon's post. Acknowledges the post again. And I guess other Anons did deeper dives. Oh, that's right. I already oops. So forgot to switch it back to OBS, dude. Ugh.
No retreat! If my
Patriot, noun. A person who loves, supports, and defends his or her country and its interests with devotion. A person who loves their country and, if necessary, will fight for it. A person who vigorously supports their country and is prepared to defend it against enemies or detractors. A person who regards himself or herself as a defender, especially of individual rights against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Yeah. I've actually never seen that movie. It's like Mel Gibson is a cool actor, you know, he's done some very well movies and stuff, and but I have never seen that movie in particular. And I think I should watch it. Because I tend not to watch movies anymore, or TV shows, or sports. I don't watch any of it anymore, dude. And sometimes I'm just like, it's like I can only watch so much YouTube that where it's like, okay, I've already seen everything. I already know everything. Like, I don't I get really, really bored. And there's like just no entertainment out of it. It's like, yeah, I guess I can play my PlayStation. But then after an hour, I'm like, I'm done. But that seems like, just because I haven't seen the movie, I think I have to watch it. Pepe, where you at, dude? You know, I don't even want to show that. You guys can clearly see it. Insurgency can be defined as the organized use of subversion and violence to siege, nullify, or challenge political control of a region. Domestic terrorism. Q. 4606. Okay? That's where we're at. Alright, this video is going to be super long, dude. I can't help it. There's just so many cute drops.
Antifa are masters at doublespeak. It goes from the name and it flows down. They call themselves anti-fascists. They're anything but. They're a movement made up of radical extremists, anarchists, and communists, and they're agitating for a political revolution in the United States. They truly believe that they're part of the vanguard to achieve this. And violence is not a bug, it's a feature of the movement. My name is Andy Ngo, and I'm an editor at Quillette magazine. You might recognize me as the person who was beaten and robbed by Antifa in Portland. But what you may possibly not know is how my family's experience informs and intersects with how I cover Antifa. Both my parents are from the former South Vietnam. They actually lived through a Marxist revolution. My father, as a young man, was sent to a re-education camp. My mother, as a teenager with her siblings and entire family, were relocated to a labor camp. Antifa views the United States as an irredeemable country and concept. They abhor the principles that make up the foundations of liberal democracy. If they were to achieve their goal, there wouldn't just be the destruction of the state, there would be the silencing of all oppositional views. They're authoritarian militants who believe that only a Marxist revolution could bring about equity. In Portland, it's a progressive monoculture, and you're more likely to see open socialists and communists than you would even just a regular Republican or conservative. This context made me fascinated to want to learn more about Antifa. I knew that there was more meaning behind the street violence. And indeed, the more that I've dug into it, the more I'm disturbed by what I find. The movement as we understand it now is very young. We don't know where their funding comes from. We don't know exactly how many people is part of this movement. This requires academic research, requires research in think tanks, and it requires authorities to investigate. And that's why I'm speaking out. An Antifa militant in Tacoma, Washington, nearby Portland, Oregon, firebombed the government facility and allegedly tried to make a 500-gallon propane tank explode. He came with a rifle and he was killed in the process. We have a casualty now, and he left behind a manifesto for us to clearly see what his beliefs were. On the 29th of June, I was beaten and robbed by Antifa. Their attack ended up with me getting diagnosed with a brain hemorrhage. I'm going to continue to suffer for some time as I work on my recovery. I wasn't the first to be beaten, and I won't be the last.
What? Okay. So, like I said earlier, like, Andy No was attacked, he was beaten, but he is still out there in the streets covering this type of information. And now whistleblower, Portland protests breaking. According to this, at DHS governor, internal email obtained at CBS News, former acting Undersecretary of Intelligence and Analysis Brian Murphy wrote colleagues on July 25th that the Portland violence was not opportunistic. You see how I suck at reading, folks? I suck. But I chug along. Thank you for those that that, you know, are like, yeah, okay. I mean, you guys can see it. It's on the screen, you know. I don't have to read it. I can just be like, violence and was not and you can read it for yourself. For those that are better at like grammar than me. Pepe, where you at? Where you at, Pepe? Ay, ay, ay. And let's see what she has here. Ah, shoot. I can't. I'm not very I don't know, like these documents are very just too like government stuff, and we got redacted names up there. I mean, I'm just glad that I am able to kind of just show you guys. And then it even amazes me that I can actually do this. Like, whoop. Can't read that. No. But then, whoop, whoop, whoop. Threat actors who are motivated by anarchist or Antifa for combination of both ideologies to carry out acts of violence against state, local, and federal authorities and infiltrate they believe represent authority or represent political and social ideas that they reject. So I'll just kind of slowly scroll and then y'all can read it. But we pretty much already get the premise of what the article is all about. These thugs, these people that are being funded by, I mean, you can't just blame it all on Soros. You can't. Yeah, I'm sure he does, but there's other players that we don't see that are behind the scenes, and that's the whole point of it, right? Because everyone will be like, "Oh, it's all funded by Soros." No, it's not. It's not funded by Soros. It's funded by the people he's associated with on different different companies. That's why Q said check out the resignations, dude. And who just resigned? I think it was like the person for somebody in a big company just resigned. I just read this yesterday. And it was all over Twitter. Well, my Twitter. Was it Netflix? Oh yeah, it was Netflix, I think. She's like, I'm out. Bye. Laters. I think it was Netflix. Don't quote me on that. But someone big. Who is financing? Follow the pen. Q. Julian Assange. Q. Seth Rich. Q. Boom. John Brennan. Q. Crucifer 2.0. Q. And this is why I had pissed. And that's why I had Boom Girl. The Boom Girl meme there is he just fired some booms, dude. One, two, three, four. Regarding Mueller team deleting text messages, this won't do. If government wants those messages, all they have to do is go to the NSA Sterling database and pull them out as all. I think those the SMS are just like the messages. I think. Like when you text people, like that's what it's called or referenced to. I could be wrong. I don't know. Going over the cell network, all captured and stored forever. And that's Bill Binney, dude. Former director of the NSA. So he knows how information is put forward, put out. Yeah, I know stupid Edward Snowden is like, oh yeah, the NSA is just, like saving all your information. But I think he's a black hat. Snowden is. He muttered the real aspect of what they were trying to do, which is capture all your data, everything, monitor you secretly without you knowing. Yeah, it's crazy, folks. I know. Oops. I definitely need a third monitor, dude. Like, because I get confused. Like,
My next guest worked alongside Director Ratcliffe on the ground floor of the Trump-Russia investigation. He has long warned viewers on this program about D.C. leakers and corruption and the Russia probe. Devin Nunes is the ranking member of the House Intel Committee, and he is the author of the new book, Countdown to Socialism, which is on store shelves right now. Congressman, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to talk a bit about what's taking place this week. We learned that more than a dozen government-issued phones used by Mueller's team during the Russia probe were wiped clean. Isn't this obstruction of justice? Is that a federal crime punishable up to 20 years? Your reaction to this?
Well, the way I look at this is thank God for Judicial Watch, who was actually able to fight the Department of Justice to get this information. This, it looks like it occurred at a very interesting time. This is when the Lovebirds text messages were discovered. So clearly after that, everybody on the Mueller team went and wiped their phone. So the question here is was there an investigation? Because if there was, that could be obstruction of justice. But I think regardless of that, this is destruction of federal records. We cannot have a justice system, whether it's at the federal level or the state level or local level, where records are being destroyed, Maria, because, I mean, that's how we have a fair and equal justice system here, that if there's misconduct of any kind, that you can go back and look at what the prosecutors were doing. And look, this is very relevant. If I was in General Flynn's shoes right now, I'd be furious. And I think that as all Americans should be upset about this. But for the Republican Party has to prioritize this, that these guys are prosecuted and held accountable. This was a witch hunt against our party, against a political party. They politicized and weaponized. Just like Director Ratcliffe said, they weaponized this intelligence. They knew, and I'll just finish with this part. Remember, all of these witch hunters on the Mueller team knew the day they walked in the door that there was no evidence of collusion. So what they were doing is they set an obstruction of justice trap. And I've spoke directly to attorneys that dealt with these people. The stories that come out of there, and they have attorney-client privilege, so they can't talk about who they were representing. But they've all come to me, Maria, and I don't mean just one. I mean several have come to me and said how out of control they were, the threats that they were making to their clients. And here you have it. They wiped some 30 phones. This is so wrong. It's infuriating to me.
So is it 30 phones? How many phones were wiped? And is there going to be any accountability, Congressman? I mean, what are you going to do about it?
And then now Q just responds, already done. Q. Pepe, where you at? Where you at, Pepe? So very, very, very interesting news that has just come out, right? I mean, I'm not gonna put a timeline on any of it, so don't quote me. Just because I'm sharing the information doesn't mean that hey, whatever I said is true, okay? It's just information being shared and just stuff that you can question, like, is he right? Is he not right? Is he wrong? Is he not right? Wait, but I heard this. But wait, I heard that. Right? Do your own research, folks, okay? That's the number one thing. Don't watch this video and be like, oh, hey, I saw it on this dude's YouTube. He must be right. No. Do your own research. That's all I have to say. And we're down to the last one. Hold the line, riders. Justice is coming. Q. And I'll say I don't really like to share my Facebook, but I don't give up. Oh wait, no, this is my Twitter. Oops. Woo 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 woo. Where is it? Justice. And this was Q drop 3849, and he just says Justice Q. And this was back in February of 2020. Pepe, where you at, dude? Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Be safe out there. Where we go one, we go all. Worldwide.